So NCCASA does our work with an intersectional framework. Many people talk about the many various levels of oppression, and anti-oppression is the center of our work. We believe that the more forms of oppression that a person can experience makes them more vulnerable to sexual violence. And while sexual violence knows no boundary, no race, no color, no ethnicity, what we do know is that oftentimes victims are victimized due to their vulnerability. And so while it may not be an easily understandable thing for most communities, we believe that if we address all forms of oppression, both racism, sexism, homophobia, xenophobia, that we ensure that we are working with our community to prevent sexual violence. So a social justice framework is putting humans first and recognizing that our work is to create a world that's just, fair, and equitable for all individuals, regardless of who they are. Now that, of course, is work easier said than done, and so we put all of our energies and efforts ensuring that our local programs understand that while victims come to us from all walks of life, not all victims from all walks of life come to our organizations freely and willingly. And so what we know is if we start to talk about our work being intersectional and we believe in justice for all isn't about being equal, it is about equity. And so some communities and some victims need things that other victims may not need. And so meeting a victim where they are and providing the services that they each need means that we have to recognize our own internal biases, and subconsciously the way that we interact with people can often create a place where victims don't feel welcomed. And since we believe that our rape crisis centers are the beacon of their community, they must be an open, welcoming organization. And in order to do that, they have to be willing to address tough topics, but also recognize that the history of this country particularly speaks to the intersection of sexual violence and racism. And once we own our country's history, it is easier for all survivors who come to us, regardless of where they are from and who they are, that we are then open to understanding that their victimization may be due to one of their identities, and that we're able to better help them. Whereas some survivors may be coming to us because it's interfamily and intergenerational, where differences aren't what made them vulnerable, that this family may need to seek different services, and we're able to provide those different services. And we believe at the Coalition, the way to do that is ensure our local programs who are providing the direct services always are asking the question, to what end, and to what end is each survivor that's at the end of their phone call or their visit.